My name is Kangye and I'm your fact master here on Pablo and Kids. Today we're going to talk about aircraft. Now when it comes to aircraft, there's a lot of things that you come to consider. One of the first aircrafts was made by two bicycle makers known as the Wright brothers in 1903. In 1903, they first tested it in a place in America known as Kitty Hawk. When they did that, it was made out of cloth, it was made out of paper, and it wasn't as old the metal planes that we have now. Now those planes would eventually develop more and would actually become into war planes and different planes as commercial planes as well. Now when it comes to those planes, you talk about mostly the war planes because they're the ones that actually get manufactured more, and even the helicopters and military aircraft. When it comes to military aircraft, you can start with fighter jets. Now fighter jets are all different kinds. Now fighter jets would bring missiles and would have to be fast in order to maneuver enemy troops. Fighter jets can also deflect radar, which are known as stealth aircrafts. Now stealth aircrafts would have a very sleek design that makes it flat but also kind of triangular, so at that one point when you are riding over the enemy's radar, it wouldn't sense you because it would be reflecting the radar beams. There were also cargo planes which would help with taking around all the pounds of military stuff that they needed. They would take guns, they would take missiles, and those cargo planes would be really huge, almost the size of a long house that would fly across the sky. Other things that would be used for transportation would also be known as Black Hawk helicopters. Now with Black Hawk helicopters, they would also be used for transportation because it was very easy to maneuver these during war because they would hover in one place but also be able to move around back, forward, and even sideways. They also carried around a gun turret in case the enemy decided to sneak up on the people who were trying to give back their transportation to the people who needed it. During this time, they would also need, when the jets were flying, they would also need fuel, and the fuel couldn't really be put from down, so they would use things known as tankers. Now tankers could be any sort of plane that you would want. You could use a cargo plane, or you could even use a commercial jet. Now for a tanker to actually work properly, it would actually have to slow down to the rate that the plane is going, or even have to catch up so that they could fuel it during a certain time. What they would use would be a long pipe that would use suction to make sure that the air goes right and that it doesn't actually explode, because when it would meet with the oxygen, it could cause combustion, and the combustion could cause an explosion. There were also reconnaissance aircraft which would help with actually sabotaging the enemy's electrical defense, which would interfere with what they're actually doing, would interfere with their radar beams, would also interfere with their communications, and basically make sure that they are not actually working properly in the electric form of the war. There would also be airborne troopers. Now airborne troopers would basically be a soldier who jumps out of a plane just to do something quick, like go behind the enemy lines and attack them from there, mostly an ambush. They're also known as sky soldiers. Now sky soldiers had a lot to pack. They would have a machine gun, they would have a medical kit, they would also have ammo, grenades, and all that to help them, even though they are coming down from up. Although the aircraft is basically also focused on transport for military things and also using military war aircraft, it's also used for commercial. Now when it comes to the commercial side, it's really big, because commercial jets can also be used as private jets. People who use private jets would use it that if they are going on a private travel, they can use it in private aircraft spaces, and they would also use commercial jets. Now when a commercial jet is there, it's really big. One of the main parts would be the fuselage, which would mainly be the main body of the plane, as well as the wings and the starboard side. The starboard side is another form of saying what the right side of a vehicle is. You would say that the right side of a boat would be the starboard side and the right side of a plane would be the starboard side. When it comes to maneuvering with an aircraft, you need two pilots, one that would do it well and the other one that would be a co-pilot. But then with also the previous developments and the recent ones, you could now use an autopilot in case the pilot needs some rest, needs to eat, or to do anything. Well, that's all I had for you today about aircrafts. See you next time on Pablo and Kids. I've been Kangye, your fact master.
The first term of the year 2025 began last week, with most pupils reporting to school on 3rd February. Pupils are expected to spend at least 262 days in school next year. The first term will run for 89 days, ending on May 2nd. Learners will then break for 23-day holiday before resuming for the second term on May 26th. which will continue until August 22nd. The final term will begin on September 14th after another 23 holiday and conclude on December 5th, making the third term slightly shorter than the previous two. So parents and guardians, we hope this information will be helpful to plan for the year. A first day at school normally makes a learner feel excited about new experiences, but also anxious about being in a new place with new people. It's not easy to fit in a new environment, especially finding your way around the school. It's a day filled with introduction and classroom rules. What do we need to do to make new students feel at home? One, we should be nice to them by introducing ourselves first to them. Two, we should be willing to show them around the school, especially where to find the toilets or latrine, playground, canteen, sick bay, and the administration office, among others. 3. Introduce them to their classmates and share basic information about each other. 4. Allow them to be part of the games and activities so that they can feel that they are part of the school community. 5. Share with them what you have, because sharing is caring. There are things that we are not supposed to do to each other, especially new learners. 1. We are not supposed to tease or laugh at them. It makes them feel bad and will not welcome to the school. 2. We should not give them funny names. We should not give them funny nicknames because it makes them hate themselves. 3. We are not allowed to steal from them or take their belongings. It's very bad and sinful in the eyes of God. 4. Do not use bad words to scare your fellow students. You should not even think of beating them. That's bullying, and it's a very bad thing. Here is a short story about bullying. Let's not ignore bullying. Let's learn to be friends, not enemies. Otherwise, for those joining or who have joined a new school, we wish you the very best.